Good morning, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you. Welcome to this thing that I do called Thor's Entertainment. I am Thor, and I am continuing my playthrough of Mortal Kombat 11 Story Mode. And this is going to be part 4 of that playthrough. If you want to see what happened in the previous episodes, I do have playlists for that. And I'll go ahead and add the playlist to the corner of the screen now. If you don't want to see about 3 hours worth of videos to catch up on everything, that's alright. I'll go ahead and do a brief summary of the key events. So, Raiden, the Thunder God of Earthrealm, he ended up changing time to prevent a possible Armageddon future, and this irritated the Titan of Time, Kronika. I guess I understand if someone was screwing with my carefully constructed timeline, I might be a little bit annoyed too. But ultimately it went beyond annoyance, and the breaking point was when Raiden decapitated her son. Her son being the evil elder god Shinnok, and even though he was evil, he was family, and she is not letting that shit go. Now she intends to restart time and remove Raiden from the timeline along with his alterations. Doing this does take some time, so she decided to bring in villains from the present and the past to protect her. The villain group includes minor names like Skarlet, Baraka, Kano, and Kabal. A bigger name in that villain team is the former Emperor of Outworld's dimension, Shao Khan. Now, Shao Khan aims to unite the Outworld forces against the protagonists and to protect Kronika. In doing so, Shao Khan has captured the current Emperor of Outworld, Kotal Khan. That capture is so that there can be a change of leadership, and well, that's on the verge of happening. And then there are the cyber assassins being led by Frost and Sektor, or I should say they were being led by Sektor. He is currently deceased now, and he ended up dying when they teamed up with the Black Dragon gang, including Kano, Erron Black, and Kabal. They ended up attacking a military base where the other protagonists were. And speaking of those protagonists, the time-traveling villains from the past also dragged old heroes into the present as well. So we are teaming up with them. That gives us 2 Johnny Cages, a young Sonya, young Jax, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Jade, Kitana, and Raiden. And we do still have the modern heroes like Cassie Cage and Jackie Briggs. Now back to what I was saying, the cyber assassin Lin Kuei and the Black Dragon gang, they blew up that military base using Sektor's body, which is why he is deceased. That was all in an attempt to kill the hero characters after they captured the young versions of Johnny Cage and sonyablade. But those other heroes managed to escape the blast radius, so they're alright. So pretty much every main character lived on that attack on the military base. Before escaping that blast though, Cassie Cage does the most unnecessary 40-yard dash just to shoot at the large aircraft that captured Sonya and Johnny. Cassie shoots a tracker onto the plane so that they can find their captured allies. Still, and I don't necessarily know the effective range of the exact pistol that Cassie Cage is using, but I feel like it is good enough to assume that the 40-yard dash towards a massive area target probably did not matter. I think she could have hit that thing without taking a step forward. This observation really does not matter, but I think it is a funny scene, and that sprint is just really unnecessary, and I wanted to point it out. I don't know, maybe she was just trying to prepare for the NFL Combine or something. Anyway, that is the setup for this episode. Young Kitana is in Outworld trying to unite people against Shao Khan and save Kotal Khan, and after that we are going to be checking in on the captured Sonya Blade and Johnny Cage.
You are passionate, Princess Kitana, but I am not persuaded.
Queen Shiva, haven't your people fared better under Kotal Khan than Shao Khan?
In some ways. But we can only guess which Khan will prevail in this struggle. We gain no advantage choosing sides now.
Princess!
Liu Kang, why are you here?
Kotal Khan has been captured by the Tarkatans. We must act quickly, before he is executed.
My people will not rally to a Khan held in chains.
We have Earthrealm's support, Your Highness. With yours, we can guarantee victory.
There is no path to victory without the Tarkatans. If they can be swayed to Kotal Khan, it would be to our advantage to join him.
I will return, Queen Shiva, with the Tarkatans at my side. Together we will march on Shao Khan.
Ah, yes, passed out and thrown into the back of a caged, horse-drawn carriage. It's just like me after drinking too much at the Renaissance Fair.
What is it about Jade's blood that intrigues you, Skarlet?
Indian blood is most sweet, Your Excellency. It is also a rare commodity.
Yeah, but why though? Edenia was only merged into Outworld. It's not like the Edenians got wiped out or extinct or anything. Surely Kitana and Jade aren't the only ones left.
Where are they taking him?
To the Colosseum, no doubt.
Then we attack now.
We'll never sway Baraka to Kotal's side by taking the offensive. We must turn Baraka first, then attack Shao Khan together.
The Tarkatans won't grant an audience. Their instinct will be to attack.
Not to mention Jade. At the first sign of trouble, they could kill her.
I have an idea.
Who is in charge here?
I see, we are going with the Shaggy and Scooby in disguise plan.
Almost done. Then time to feast. Princess Kitana.
Our gift for Shao Khan. We wish to join his fight against Kotal.
All those years, the Khan's high and mighty daughter. Now brought low by common soldiers. Have you learned finally that you're no better than the rest of us?
She is for Shao Khan. We demand to see Baraka.
You won't be seeing anyone. Liu Kang. You betrayed your father, Kitana.
I was Shao Kahn's daughter by conquest. He stole Edenia from its rightful ruler, the father I never knew.
Because your people and your bloodline were weak.
So Mortal Kombat 10 did a great job showing how characters developed over time. Many went on to be leaders of major groups. We had General Sonyablade of the Special Forces. We had Grandmaster Scorpion for the Shiryu. And there was Grandmaster Sub-Zero for the Lin Kuei. Mortal Kombat 11 continues that trend for a few characters. And among those characters, it is cool to see that Shiva is getting that treatment as well, and you got to see that in the last cutscene. Seeing her go from some random Outworld jobber in Mortal Kombat 9 to leading the Shokan as their queen after about 25 years, well, that is pretty awesome. It is by far the most important she has ever been in a Mortal Kombat game, and it's just really cool to see. And with Baraka being recently resurrected, Shiva decided to do him a favor, being a fellow loser from Mortal Kombat 9, and she decided to make him important for the very first time basically ever. And she said Kitana will not get any Shokan support if she is not able to convince Baraka and the other Tarkatans to follow her as well. It's a nice touch of progression for two previously useless characters. So, in the Mortal Kombat 10 comics, I believe there was a little bit of a tournament of some kind to determine who was going to be the next ruler of the Shokan, because Kotal Khan had killed the previous king and also cut off the arms of Goro in some major dispute between Goro and, the Shokan as a whole and Kotal Khan. And in that tournament, we see Shiva entering, and I believe Kentaro, although Kentaro might have been dead at the time. I don't remember super well, but yeah, that was a plot point. But seeing her as the queen now implies that she was able to win the tournament against all the other Shokan warriors and rise to be their queen.
There is more to power than conquest, Skarlet.
As requested, 0 casualties.
Jade, are you all right? We must find Baraka quickly to save Kotal.
Baraka won't join us. Kotal's hate for the Tarkatans runs too deep. If I hadn't stopped him, Kotal would have executed them all.
Yes! Kotal has made his intentions plain.
Quick, Kitana, initiate trial by handstand competition. There is no way Baraka can beat you in a handstand contest if he has swords in his arms.
Baraka, please listen. No more Tarkatans need to die.
Kotal Khan threatens all Tarkatans. In the new era, Shao Khan will rule.
Speaking of Baraka getting some respect for the first time ever, basically, we are now fighting against him. Baraka is one of those classic jobbers from Mortal Kombat history. The guy has only ever existed to lose against better characters to make them look good. Baraka has never been part of any major story events in any of the games. He has just been a henchman to whoever is the main bad guy, really. And that has always been kind of odd considering he is the leader of an entire species of people in Outworld, and they are a major part of Outworld. It just seems like he would have been more influential before now, but this is the first time it's really acknowledged that his forces might actually be important and sway the entire outcome of pretty much any battle. And he might be worth treating as a respectable leader. Now, even if he does not get his own chapter in this game, this is by far the most important that he has been in the plot of any Mortal Kombat game. Although his importance will carry over into the very next game, Mortal Kombat 1, where he continues to get some love and gets his own chapter for the first time ever, along with a lot of other first-time chapter characters. So yeah, this is the starting point for Baraka finally having relevance in the franchise, and you love to see it. I just love in general seeing characters that have not really had time to shine finally getting put into the spotlight to be their own main characters. It's always weird to me when, especially when you're talking about a franchise as old as Mortal Kombat, you could be 12 games into the franchise and some characters have never been important, but yet they're in like the majority of the games.
Hear me, Baraka. I speak truth.
Jade, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, stand down!
Nah, fuck that. I am not getting stabbed.
Good! Combat Tracker! Speak. You've earned the chance.
Shao Khan has pitted Outworld's peoples against one another for millennia. And for what? The honor of dying in his wars? We must fight for each other, Baraka, not with each other.
Kotal wants us dead. He said as much to my face.
Aid us, and I'll make sure you sit at Kotal's table. Which do you prefer, Baraka? To be Shao Kahn's slave, or Kotal Khan's trusted ally?
No one has ever made Tarkatan such an offer. But these are your words, not his.
Help me save Kotal Khan. We'll ask him together.
He offers less. I'll slit his throat.
If he offers less, Baraka, I'll help you.
That's kind of crazy. It's like offering someone human rights instead of genocide is a good negotiation tactic. More like Tarkatan rights, I guess, but you get the idea.
You've suffered too long at this pretender's hands. But I've returned, and I will save you from his madness. Only I can rebuild the Empire. All realms will tremble before me. Outworld will again be conquerors. Never the conquered!
Meanwhile, at the Make Outworld Great Again rally. Hey, look, it's Old Man Erron Black. I cannot wait to finally hear what he has to say in this game. I mean, it must be pretty good considering they have waited this long and he has not said anything yet. I can't wait to hear what it is.
Where's this boldness been hiding, Kitana? Had you shown it before, I'd have had no need for Melina.
My sister was an unholy monster. Exactly like you, father.
Ungrateful shrew, born to privilege which you throw away.
Who are you to judge me?
You have not known cold or hunger. If you had, you would value the gifts Shao Khan gave you.
Next for this fight, we have the Kollector. I think this might actually be the very last Kollector fight in the game. I am not 100% sure about that, but I think it is. That being said, Kollector is not really used for much in this game. He gets a few lines, and that's about it. Besides just a few speaking lines, he just loses and we progress on with whatever chapter we are in. I am kind of curious what the plan was for this character. It just feels like there is no real reason for him to be in this game's story mode. I mean, I like his design. I think his multiple arms in combination with some unique relics could make for really good gameplay. So I think they were on to something there. But beyond just design, he does not really do anything, and it just feels like a waste, really. Even other villains who get their asses kicked the entire story mode, they at least do something. I mean, even Kano manages to capture Sonya and Johnny, and he even repairs Sektor. Frost reboots the entire Cyber Lin Kuei initiative. Geras collects the Jinsei. Kollector is just kind of there. They really just need to do something with this guy to justify his roster spot. And it really did not happen. Like I mentioned earlier, his biggest contribution to this game, in my opinion, is that they introduced an entirely new species in Outworld. The problem is, you never see anyone else from his species in this game. In fact, I guess kind of sort of spoiler for Mortal Kombat 1, there are no members of his species that are seen in that game either. I mean, they mention them being there, but they never actually show them. So, with no other ones of his kind to compare to, or, to also fight alongside him, the Kollector kind of just feels like a species of one. I mean, Baraka gets a bunch of nameless Tarkatans to back him up. We've had several different shaokhan, like, Shiva, Goro, and Kentaro. But then you just have lonely Kollector over here, all by himself. Like, I'm not trying to shit on the character or the voice actor or anything like that. They just really need to do more with him. Because I don't think he's got a bad design. There's definitely potential there. It's just not really cashed in any sort of meaningful way. The most progression that this character gets is that in Mortal Kombat 1, he technically runs the shop where you can get a bunch of random items to help you out whenever you're playing in the invasion mode. So yeah, no speaking lines or anything like that either in that game, so just kind of a background character, a gimmick for the shop to exist in that mode.
Be grateful you still breathe.
But why? Why does this guy still breathe? Why do you let him live? Hell yeah, we get a pocket sand tactic from Kotal Khan, and I love it. Geez, that shook a lot of people out of the stands really easily. I am starting to think that this Coliseum that has not changed at all in 25 years may not be up to code.
Surrender, or face the consequences.
Surrender on the brink of victory. You're as feeble-minded as Jared.
King Jared, the father you murdered and stole me from.
I wanted Jared's wife, not his heir. I kept you only to appease your mother. Do not expect mercy this time.
It is weird to think that this is the first fight between Shao Khan and Kitana. Now, Shao Khan killed her father, forced Sindel to marry him, Sindel being Kitana's mom. Shao Khan also merged Adenia with Outworld. He cloned Kitana to make Melina. And yeah, there's just plenty of other crap to give her motivation for this fight to occur. All these games later, though, this is just now happening. It is a very overdue fight. And it is a good time to point out that Shao Kahn is a playable character in this game and is no longer a boss character. Now, he was the boss character back in Mortal Kombat 9, the very last game that he was in, and fighting him was a gigantic pain in the ass. He had armor on basically every single attack he had, he could not be thrown, and he did massive damage even for basic attacks. Here in Mortal Kombat 11, he is substantially weaker and easier in comparison. Now, granted, Shao Kahn can still do some pretty big damage if you know what you're doing with him, but it's still nothing like he used to be. It is too bad for Kotal Khan that he could not defeat Shao for a second time. It looks like there might be some lasting damage as a result of that loss, but that's alright though. We can hand Shao Kahn his second loss in this game with Kitana. After all the times I lost to this guy back in Mortal Kombat 9, trust me, I am going to be happy to see Shao lose, even if it's not the same Shao. Now, just go down already, you big bastard. After all the losses in 9, I deserve to have a first try victory in Mortal Kombat 11.
Your fate rests here.
I'll not inherit your cruelty.
Won't inherit his cruelty, my ass.
She did it. Of course she did.
Do you feel anything?
Shao Khan has crippled me, left me defenseless.
Not while I am by your side.
You would have me, even with my hardened heart?
I know your heart. It can change.
It is over, Kotal Khan. The throne is secure.
Thank you. Baraka, Shiva, I have not served your peoples well, yet still you aided me. I will not forget. We don't need charity. We will share in Outworld's rule. That is up to her now.
What?
The throne is yours. You have united Outworld, Kitana Khan.
She's now officially out of your league.
I am humbled, Kotal. From this day on, may all our peoples fight together as one.
Very cool scene. But let's go ahead and see what's going on back on the Earthrealm side of this plot.
The news from Outworld is indeed hopeful, but the location of Kronika's keep remains a mystery. It is beyond the realms, and has proven to be beyond my sight.
Do you know of Charon, Raiden?
Charon, of course. Who is Charon?
Master of the ancient ship of the dead. Sub-Zero and I met him during our time as revenants.
He travels in the space beyond realms, transporting damned souls to the nether realm.
If the keep lies there, Charon may know its location.
Would he help us?
It is possible, but I cannot be sure.
I urge you both to investigate.
We will leave immediately.
Locking down Outworld's army is huge. But still, I'd feel better if we had more manpower.
The Shaolin will join us. Liu Kang and Kung Lao travel now to aid the monks' preparations.
Good. I'll be leaving soon to go after Johnny and Sonya.
I'll go too.
We're both going. No. Raiden needs you for an intel op.
We need to get Sonya back.
Undoubtedly. But Kronika's behavior makes it clear that while mighty, she is not all-powerful. Otherwise, why would she attempt to steal Jinsei?
Think maybe she's still building strength?
A distinct probability.
Then what's her next move?
With the Dragon Grotto's Jinsei fountain sealed, there is no greater energy source in Earthrealm than the Well of Souls beneath Shang Tsung's island.
Then we better go check it out.
I regret that I cannot join you. I must keep vigil for signs of Kronika's further tampering with time.
We all have our duty.
I am told you defeated Shinnok, Cassandra Cage. You will defeat the likes of Kano, but proceed with caution. If either Johnny or Sonya die, you will cease to exist. It will be beyond my power to save you.
I guess one of the Kanos is supposed to be Tyler Durden in this chapter?
Rise and shine, Sonya. And you won't be leaving that stuff, love. One thing we Black Dragon know. There's no fun in a fair fight.
So Sonya's the skank who burns me?
She more than burns you, Kabal. She goes black ops on your ass. Shocks, knives, the bloody works. Patched you back together myself. Well, most of you.
She's dead. Miss Law and Order really does that to him?
Nah. But now he's motivated.
Hope you're ready for some preemptive vengeance.
What the hell are you talking about, Kabal?
You. Torturing me to get dirt on the Black Dragon.
Time for Kabal to continue being irrelevant in this game in comparison to how he was in Mortal Kombat 9. And that is because he is just going to be taking another loss. Actually, comparing this Kabal to the one that was in Mortal Kombat 9 raises some questions. Some continuity-related questions. Most of the characters that were plucked from the past by Kronika are supposed to be from the events of Mortal Kombat 2. But Kabal, back in Mortal Kombat 9, was introduced during the reimagined events of Mortal Kombat 3. So in Mortal Kombat 9, Kabal was a former Black Dragon gang member who had a massive change of heart and joined a police force and partnered with Stryker. So it is implied that he had changed course and had been on the police force for a while. And since Mortal Kombat 2 and 3 basically happened back to back, it is likely that he was a police officer during the events of Mortal Kombat 2 as well. So if that is the case, how far back did Kronika pluck this Kabal from if he is still a Black Dragon member? It definitely has to be way further back than Mortal Kombat 2 like the other characters. And why only make an exception for Kabal? I don't know, Kronika just does a lot of weird and inconsistent shit in this game. Oh, and also during this fight, and I think one more with Sonyablade, you're gonna see that she doesn't have her gadgets to work with, like her wrist attachments that do her energy ring attacks, which also happens to be one of her crouching punches, I think. So you'll see me try to do that and nothing happens, even though she's still doing the motion of the attack, and it's kind of annoying, and I don't catch on, and yeah, well, we just kind of fumble our way through these fights, but that's alright. We get through them all the same.
Don't believe every rumor you hear. I'm done entertaining you clowns. Get in here, you cowards!
Tempting, love. But we think our next contender is a beaut.
But this is Fight Club. You can't just reject a challenge to fight.
Shit.
This feels like way more of an attempt to crowd surf than an escape attempt.
I won't fight him.
You're damn sure fight.
this shit! You'll kill us whether we fight or not!
Nah, you caught me, love. But put on a good show, eh? It'll be less painful.
Come on. You've been dying to hit me all day. Here's your chance.
And give them the satisfaction of watching us fight? Like hell.
You said it. They'll kill us whether we fight or not. Fighting buys us time to find a way out. So, quit being a diva. Hit me. No way. These people know dive when they see one.
So I tried to count the number of rounds fired here by Cassie Cage. It's definitely at least 30 shots between the pistols. I joke and say that those things holding more than 15 rounds each is kind of unrealistic, but you could also shoot as many rounds as you want as Cassie Cage in a fight without her ever needing to reload, so I guess at least it is consistent?
Now ain't this a thrill? Bagging the legendary sonyablade.
I was thinking Kronika was inconsistent while fighting the Kabal fight, but something else is super inconsistent, especially after that last cutscene, and that is Erron Black's sharpshooting. He took Johnny down with a fairly impressive quick draw, but then he has to take like 10 seconds to line up a headshot while Johnny Cage is on the ground. And that gives Sonya an excessive amount of time to intervene. Like, that's Erron Black's one gimmick. It is weird that he can rattle off perfect shots effortlessly at one moment, and then he has to slow down to hit a stationary target on the ground. The same thing happened in the last game when he fought against Rain. He had the potential for a perfect execution shot on Rain while he was on the ground, but it takes an eternity to line up the shot, and then it gives time for Melina to intervene. He is just a super selectively impactful marksman, and it just doesn't really make sense. I mean, go back and look at Cassie Cage's sharpshooting in that last cutscene. It's way more impressive than anything Erron Black has done in either game. Also, we established in the last episode that wounds to a young version of a character also impact the older characters in the present. And while we fight the young Erron Black here, it's presumed that the old man Erron Black is also fighting at the Colosseum to try overthrowing Shao Khan. I mean, he was in that cutscene back in Outworld. So I can't help but wonder if he is feeling this beating going on right now while he is trying to stop Shao Khan and is just really confused as hell why things like his ribs suddenly feel like they've been broken before. And all of that happening without a single person hitting him. And if he could potentially feel getting hit in the past, imagine how he felt whenever sonyablade used that chainsaw on him. What the hell would that feel like in the middle of a fight at the Colosseum? Absolute insanity.
Lieutenant! He needs a medevac. We're gonna have to fight our way out to the rendezvous. You'll need these.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind, Cassie Cage is a much better marksman than Erron Black in this game.
Where do you think you're going?
No, it's too dangerous.
I am really disappointed that that hit was not from a Kano ball.
Best thing about this future, love? I'm alive, but you're dead as a doornail. Worst thing is, it's those Netherrealm stiffs did you in. Should have been me. Let's have ourselves a do-over.
You might be alive in this future, but that can change.
I am suddenly realizing we never fight against the old man Kano in this game. The only version of Kano that does any sort of actual fighting against us in one of these main fights is the young version of Kano from the past. I mean, it does not really make a difference to the story, and it is not really a complaint by me. It's just a really interesting and random thought that in a game with two versions of most characters, we only fight one of them. In fact, that is not limited to just Kano. We also never fight against the old man Erron Black either. We only ever fight his younger self. Which means there are some lazy old farts in this game. And then there are characters who do not even get their younger versions of themselves showing up in this game. The one character I have in mind is Kuai Liang's Sub-Zero. His younger version does not show up. And that really could have been a fun addition. Especially when you remember somewhere around the time of Mortal Kombat 2 was when he was cyberized. I mean, you could have done something with that. You could have given him robotic skin and just kept the same moveset. I mean, you made Cyrax and Sektor unplayable, but they're also perfectly capable of fighting against you with full movesets. I don't see why Cyber Sub-Zero couldn't get a similar treatment. And I guess characters like Reptile, Goro, and Ermac were not important enough in Kronika's eyes to get their younger versions of themselves time-traveled into the present. Not even as just background characters and cutscenes. I mean, not even musical theater-loving Kentaro from the past shows up in this game.
Let me give you a break.
Now I know that is a reference to the 90s Mortal Kombat movie, but thanks to that line I now have the Kit Kat jingle stuck in my head.
Now this is a pickle. Can you break his neck faster than I can gut, pretty boy? Don't forget, it's 2 for 1. He dies, so does your little girl.
Thanks, Kano.
For what?
For reminding me of the rules.
So if Kano dies young and never grows old, does that mean that we never get his intel about the location of Mileena's camp back in Mortal Kombat 10? And if that is the case, does that mean that Mileena is now alive because of this change?
Sweet move. I'm totally stealing that one for Timequake. How about dinner sometime? You know, thank you for saving my life. And apologize for being, well, me. No pressure, no romance.
Patience is a virtue, Cage. What is that?
That is someone causing a gigantic scene despite the fact that that person has time-related powers and could have just slipped in here without anybody knowing. But fuck it. Geras is now just a Terminator. I guess that makes Sonyablade the de facto Sarah Connor character in this scenario. Wait, this chapter is supposed to have a Fight Club related theme. Why is the theme now Terminator?
Who's the special guest villain?
Geras, Kronika's goon. Allegedly, he can't be killed.
I fought a dude like that in Fatal Infinity.
Get him evac'd. I'll keep this thing occupied.
Sonyablade, mother of Cassie Cage.
Yeah, what of it?
Cassie Cage defeated Shinnok, son of Kronika. I am his mother's vengeance.
So Geras just came rumbling into the Fight Club and started killing everyone brutally one by one to get to the protagonist to kill them. It seems like we are getting some more inconsistent and illogical crap going on here. So Geras has only had one other fight so far in this story mode, and that was back in Chapter 3. And after that fight, Geras completely stopped time and could have killed both Liu Kang and Kung Lao. The only reason he didn't is because Kronika told him not to. So instead, he just bailed. Here in the Fight Club, though, he clearly has the green light to kill main characters. So just stop time again and finally use that overpowered ability to kill the main characters. You could do it without anyone even knowing you were here because you can stop time. Totally easy win, and then you can go back to Kronika and say, hey, job well done. But no, he decided to alert every single person in the area that he is here and wants a fist fight with Sonyablade. Just a great use of the power to control time for everyone around you. Yep, I like Geras, but this feels pointless. When this fight is over, the story will progress in a way that would have been entirely the same had he not even been here, so this whole fight is definitely pointless. Well, pointless or not, the fight is almost over, so at least we're not going to have to deal with it for too much longer. We just need to go ahead and take down the immortal man Geras.
Just wrapping up. Stay away from my daughter.
Try coming back from this.
Cassie, I joke about you a bunch, but you are a fucking gem and I like you.
You okay?
I'll be fine. I come from tough stock.
Listen, what I said back at the base about the mission, it wasn't fair. You're a damn fine soldier. I'm so proud I can almost picture myself dating Johnny. Almost.
I wish I could go back. Do our last mission over.
It wasn't easy finding out how I'd die, or could die. But I reread the file. You followed orders, saved your squad. I'm just glad that my sacrifice saved Earthrealm. And you. Besides, you heard Raiden. Things will never go back to what they were. We all have to choose our destiny.
Huh. All the Geras goo is reforming. I guess that makes him a T-1000 specifically.
Liu Kang and Kung Lao weren't kidding about this guy.
All squads withdraw! Evac, now!
Geras failed. When he returns, I will strengthen him further for the final battle. Speak your mind.
We've lost Shao Khan, his Outworld army, and now the Black Dragon.
While Raiden's allies have burned precious time fighting Kano and Shao Khan, our most important work has continued, uninterrupted, on Shang Tsung's island.
That island is in ruins. What could possibly...
Timecraft requires an abundance of raw temporal energy. Every mortal soul contains a lifetime of this power. Every hour, every minute, every second lived is stored within.
Shang Tsung fed off souls. He collected them.
In his well of souls, which remains untouched beneath his island. A destiny I crafted for Shang Tsung, in case I ever had need. Shang Tsung's souls will be mine.
I will go ahead and end the episode on that Kronika moment, giving us another quote from the 90s Mortal Kombat movie. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and wrap things up here. And let's go ahead and ask the question, what happened in this episode? Well, in the Earthrealm side of the plot, Kano is now dead and Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade have been recovered from the Black Dragon Fight Club. And that's all courtesy of Cassie Cage having amazing marksmanship and just a lot of badassery. On the Outworld side, a lot more crap has happened. Kitana sought out forces to help her defeat Shao Khan and save Kotal Khan. Among the forces that she wanted to help her were the shaokhan. So she went ahead and had an audience with Shiva, now queen of the shaokhan. Shiva said that she would help Kitana, but only if she could convince Baraka and the Tarkatans to also be her ally. So then Kitana goes to the Tarkatan camp. She frees Jade, and then she defeats Baraka. After her fight with Baraka, the two of them actually talk sensibly for a moment, and she convinces him to join their cause by offering them something that the Tarkatans have never had before: actual rights and a say in the decisions made on behalf of their people. So the Tarkatans, the Shao Khan, Erron Black, Jade, Liu Kang, and Kung Lao, they all storm into the Colosseum and fight Shao Kahn and his forces. In the end, the battle paralyzed Kotal Khan, and it was Kitana that defeated Shao Kahn. Kotal Khan then resigned as Emperor of Outworld due to his new condition, and gave the title of Khan to Kitana since she was the one who displayed excellent leadership, was able to save him, and it was all because she had already united the different people of Outworld. Plus, she kind of already was part of Outworld's leadership hierarchy for a really long time, so this leadership change just kind of makes sense. But yeah, that's pretty much the summary in a nutshell, and that covers pretty much everything we did in this episode. Besides the summary, though, you know what is kind of crazy? Going from Mortal Kombat 9 to this game, and comparing how the women characters were in Mortal Kombat 9 to how they are now. Like in Mortal Kombat 9, you basically had Sonya Blade in a stripper cop outfit when she was supposed to be a Special Forces member. Then you also had Shiva in this really weird thong leotard thing, and was completely not important to the story. Then there was Melina, who was introduced awkwardly, not really wearing anything but a few oddly placed bandages. Like, that game was definitely trying to sell some cringy sex appeal, and the characters, specifically the women, had very little impact on the story. Now fast forward 2 games, and the women characters have definitely been dressed a lot differently, like they're actually in an action genre game. They also have mostly risen to really impressive positions. Melina led as Empress of Outworld for a long time and even led a civil war to get her throne back. Shiva became Queen of the Shaokhan, Sonya Blade became a general, and her daughter even became an unspecified rank but commanding officer in the military. And in this episode, we even got Kitana beating the former boss of Mortal Kombat to become a new ruler of Outworld. So yeah, Mortal Kombat 9 was an awkward time for them, but the writers seem to have caught on, along with the character designers, and they have definitely changed course. It's just really nice to see. Of course, the men in this game are still plenty important too. They have plenty of time to shine. It just feels like it's a lot more even now. Anyway, that is going to be it for this episode. We will pick things back up next time with the young Jax and Jackie Briggs tackling the collection of souls attempt by Kronika at Shang Tsung's abandoned island. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, consider checking out the other work I have on the Thor's Entertainment channel. If you're just into the Mortal Kombat stuff, I do have playthroughs of the other Mortal Kombat story modes, and I have a good amount of Mortal Kombat 1 online gameplay as well. That is it for me, though. Take care, and I will see you next time.
It's official. You suck.
Shao Khan, win.